Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to the Crimson Lotus Tea live stream. Give me a minute to get Instagram up and going. Let me know if there's any issues with the audio. Should all be good, but I want to get some Instagram people in here too. So let me know what the quality is like. All right, let's get Instagram going. Good evening, Instagram and YouTube. Crimson Lotus Tea live stream. What is going on? Let me know what you guys are drinking. That's always it's always fun. It's fun when we can have a conversation. We can chat. We can talk about different teas. Thank you for joining me on your Friday evening. So we're drinking. It's Beneath an Emerald Sea. It's our latest pressing. There we go. Upside down. It doesn't matter. It's all tea, right? Nice. No, this is good stuff, man. This is awesome. Let me send this link out to a couple people, see if we can get some people in on the Instagram side as well, or the YouTube side. Doesn't matter. Anywhere is good. There we go. Yeah, but let me know what you guys are drinking or what you guys had today, and let's chat about some tea. If you guys got any tea questions, always hit me up. There we go. So this is an awesome little tea. I really like it, and we've been brewing it for a while actually. Cool. Yeah. So we first pressed this in 2016. Pressed in 2016, 2018. Pressed it in 2020. Weren't able to get the material in time in 2022. It was just too pricey. 2022, the material just didn't work out well, so we couldn't press it in 2022. But we made sure that we pressed it in 2024. What do we got question wise is on the YouTube chat there. CM's drinking a Golden Monkey Black Ting from Fooding for you. Nice. That actually sounds awesome. Hey Canavox, Michelle, thanks for joining us, guys. Cool, right. One of the things that I really enjoy about this tea in particular is the awesome art that Twig and Snip did for us, which is super cool. This is a fun wrapper. It's a really fun design. I've got the original right there. There you go. That's the original right up there. And I did modify the background for this version of it, and I think it turned out nice. An actual fun oceany themed green background. That's the whole idea behind this tea. Brewing in our super awesome, adorable, tiny Crimson Lotus white clay teapots. These things are fun. I like them a lot. We're out of the black clay guy ones. I think we definitely still have some of the white teapots. We also have really amazing budget Gentway teapots, which will look about like this. They've got a bunch of the white clay ones on the site right now that are a crazy deal for like $65 for one of these, which is just a super good price. If you're looking for like a daily beater workhorse teapot, pick up one of these clay ones. Mecha Tea, what is going on? Thanks for joining us. Jules Rules and the other Chris Watts have all joined in. I love it. Yeah, thanks for having some tea with us. Mecha Tea, what have you been drinking? What have you been drinking today? Let's see. Oh, Chris, you like this one? Yeah. No, this one's good stuff. And if you've had the good fortune of purchasing the 2016, 2018, and 2020, and you've had it for a while now, this tea ages great. If you're looking for something that just has a solid aging potential, we just love this one. This one just ages. It just ages awesome. And I've got our 2016. When we drink it, it's just perfect. It works out so nice. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where this one ages over the years. Canavox drinking the 2004 Munghai Aged Show. Well, that's not bad. That sounds like a lot of fun. Mecha Tea has been drinking Kimung and Maofeng Green. Those sound like nice teas too. I have not had tea yet today. I lost my I lost my portable tea thermos somewhere. I think I know where it is, but I won't be able to find it until Sunday. So I am a little bit disappointed because I generally just kind of use that grandpa style every day, but I have not been able to. So didn't get a chance to sit down for Gong Fu sesh this morning and this afternoon. Kids' early dismissal on Friday, so we took the kids to the beach. It was fun. It was a gorgeous day in the Pacific Northwest. If you guys are in the Pacific Northwest, these are the late fall days that you live for. It's just sunny and like a warm breeze. It wasn't cold. It was just gorgeous and perfect time to go to the beach with the kids. And they had a blast. A lot of the beaches around here have washed up sea glass, so it's fun to kind of go around, dig around, see what sort of fun sea glass you can find. What do we got? CM just wanted to say you finally got one of our wood-fired pots on the last restock. It's stupid gorgeous in person. So you're the one that got like that last one, right? That was one that I've found recently. I found this year, right? When we were in China this spring. I found it there, right? So you got that one. You're the one that ordered that one, dude. Those wood-fired pots are just awesome. And if they weren't so awkward and expensive and risky, I would do more wood-fired stuff. I don't know. I've been talking with some of the potters in Zhengshui on some gas-fired stuff that kind of has a wood-fired look to it, and I might experiment and have some pots made, because that would be super awesome. Cool. CM, I am so glad you got that. Sometimes I forget like who orders what, and if people aren't like posting pictures and stuff to Instagram, then I completely forget like who has what. And I wish that people would post more teaware pics to Instagram, because that's one of my guilty pleasures, is watching these awesome teawares being used elsewhere. I think I'm going to switch up my cups. I want to use a smaller cup. One of my cute little wood-fired. Speaking of wood-fired, switch over to using one of my favorite little wood-fired cups. I've maybe only been able to source like 30 of these over the years during our trips. These come from a Huaning kiln, and it's a special clay that might or might not be from Huaning. I'm not 100% certain. Some people say that they've mined it in Huaning, and then other people say that this clay is from Guangzhou. But this is a black clay, and it's super iron rich. And these cups, just perfection. I love them. Everything about them. There we go. That's nice. It's fresh and vibrant. Cool, let's do this. So our first official blend, the first official blend that we put together was Hidden Song, and I need to follow up with that. No one actually ever guessed the Hidden Song, and we are now officially sold out with it. So I need to do a live stream with a reveal of the Hidden Song and what the Hidden Song was. But I found a cake of the first blend of Hidden Song that we put together, and I'll brew that. That was before we actually put the Hidden Song, the wrapper, on. The green tea and good vibes and Serenity now. Thanks for joining the Instagram. We are also on YouTube, so if you want to watch it on YouTube, if that's a little bit easier, you can do that. Right. So no one ever figured out the Hidden Song. So that was the second time we released that. We did the same blend, made a Hidden Song, found some music that my wife and I liked, took an excerpt from the musical notes, and put it into the wrapper. And the fun was trying to see who would be able to figure out what the Hidden Song was, and nobody ever did. And as far as I can tell, nobody came that close either. There were a lot of valid attempts, but I had made it just a little bit too hidden. Clint Trifton and Enculp, thanks for the join. Made it a little bit too hidden. My only hint was that the sheet music was accessible online. You could find the sheet music online, and the music was on YouTube. So those are the only 2 hints that I gave. So it wasn't like it was something that like I wrote or put together or something. So it's like publicly available sheet music, and you can actually find recordings of it on YouTube. Whew. Oh, that's so sweet. But yeah, it's time to reveal it. But I'll do a special little event for that. So the idea was that whoever could guess the hidden song would get an entire tone of that tea for free. But there were some good attempts. Some people thought it might be the Rickroll music, which would have been a hilarious thing. Somebody swore it was the Aer Lingus airline on hold music. That was a good one. But no, it was not. It was not any of those. It was Asian music though, which made sense. That might have been why it was a little bit more difficult for Western musicians to find it. But there were many valid attempts made. But I mentioned Hidden Song because Hidden Song was the first time we blended tea. We took our everything we'd learned from different tea blenders and tea people in China and made our attempts at blending tea. And I think it worked out really nice. But I took the experience that I learned from that and conceptualized ahead of time the idea of Beneath an Emerald Sea. Very specifically chose out just that material the next year, as opposed to Hidden Song. We bought the material and we worked it into a blend. Turned out super nice. But for Beneath an Emerald Sea, I very specifically theorized in my head what the blend could look like, and then we went and very specifically sourced just the materials that we needed, and I just think it turned out awesome. Love it. Michelle Jackson drinking the 2007 CNNP 8891 Red Label Raw Pu'er. Wow, how was that? Where was it? Was it stored? Humid storage, dry storage? That sounds awesome. Roberto Gallegos, Encarde 1, and Vanessa R. Devon. Thanks for joining us on the Instagram. Let me know what you guys are drinking. Well, I think I've gotten most of the kinks worked out of my my little setup right here. I do have I did move the laptop technically closer, so I don't have to look all the way over here when I'm reading the chat. So now I can kind of like look right there and see the YouTube chat, and then the Instagram camera is right there. So I've got cameras like that. So not bad. I think it's working nicely. Green Tea Good Vibes. What are you drinking? Beneath an Emerald Sea. Yeah, we're drinking Beneath an Emerald Sea, the new pressing of it, 2024, which is has been on the site for about a month now, month and a half, and if you're looking for a good tea and you want a good tea that has a proven track record of aging, this tea's great. This tea just gets better and better and better. Green Tea Good Vibes. We did not release the tasting. We did not release the origin information for this one. It is a blend mix. Anyways, Green Tea and Good Vibes. What are you drinking today? Yeah, this tea is nice, nice floral notes. It's got just enough punchiness and some bitterness to keep it interesting. It's definitely juicy. It's got a lot of body to it. Wow, just super drinkable. For steep color, not too bad. Canavox says that CNMP sounds like the big 500 gram Red Bing. I like the look of that one. Is that what it is, Michelle? Is that the big Mega Bing? 500 grams is serious business as a cake. There's a post. There's always posts on Rev. There's a post in our pu'er that went up today that very tongue-in-cheek mocks Western pu'er tea vendors, and it's somewhat hilarious. It's actually mildly slanderous and somewhat rude, but hey, it's Reddit. You would expect no less. The category that we fell under described Crimson Lotus tea as white guy Asian wife. That's not wrong. loves matcha. That's also not wrong. Then they said, great sheng, great show, but not both. I disagreed with that one. And then they're like, hey, limited production, 300,000 cakes. And I'm like, man, 300,000 cakes. Like, if we could ever press 300,000 cakes, that would be wild. Wild. 300,000 cake limited pressing. I mean, just to put that into comparison, like if that's 200 gram cakes, right? 200 gram cake, 300,000 cakes, that's 60,000 kilos. That is 60 metric tons of tea. That is a wild amount of tea. And it made me start thinking, like, we very clearly bought and pressed more than a metric ton of tea at this point in time, more than 1,000 kilos of tea. That's actually not a hard thing to do. If you're there, 10 mountains by 100 kilos of tea from each mountain, so it could add up really quickly. But I don't think that we've actually bought and pressed more than like 10 metric tons. So I think that's the window that we were in. But to do a single pressing, just the logistics of having a tea with or a blend with 60 metric tons of tea is just wild. But I thought it was a funny post. I like seeing posts like that. I get a kick out of them. And I think it would be easy for a vendor to kind of get upset and get a little bit snarky in their response. But I saw that and I was just like, I knew it came from a place of love. So I was like, I just thought I'd have a little fun with it. But it was fun to like see that post pop up, and I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's kind of me. But it was pretty cool. So I'm glad you guys saw that post too. It was I had some fun with it. Oh, Green Tea and Good Vibes is drinking a bunch of Taiping Hokui Green. Nice. And Etal's Black, thanks for joining us. And Gareth. J. Scott P, what's going on? What are you guys drinking? We are also on YouTube if you want to watch it there, if that makes it easier. Yeah, we're talking about the Reddit post, the five types of tea, 5 types of Western pu'er tea vendors. Who knows? Maybe it's one of you guys watching the stream is actually the one who posted it. I forgot the username who posted it, but no, posts like that they crack me up. I get some. There's truth and love in those posts. Oh, Michelle purchased a 25 gram sample of that tea. It's nice. Does Dai even do 300K cakes per pressing? I don't know. I mean, Dai does huge pressings. I mean, they're also doing in 357 gram cakes. So 357 gram cakes, if you did 300,000 cakes, I mean, that would even be that's like 170 metric tons, which is wild, or just a wild amount of tea. I would guess no, but it wouldn't surprise me if Dai did individual pressings in the area of, I mean, more than 10 metric tons. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, some of their productions are just, I mean, and Dai owns their own just massive monoculture tea gardens. They produce a ridiculous amount of tea in a given year. So yeah, I wonder if I mean, you guys are online. You guys are savvy with the internet searches and stuff. See if you can see if Dai's ever released what they produce in a single year, metric ton wise. Canavox, you'd buy the 500 gram cake of that. You like it that much? Yeah, that's it's tough. I mean, it's half a kilo of tea is a lot. We bought a bunch of 1 kilo pressings, and those were actually decent. I think it was like a pu'er Huang Pian material, so it was cheaper. We could sell like the whole 1 kilo brick for $100, and that's a lot of tea. That's a lot of tea to buy. You have to have a strong will to get through a 1 kilo brick of tea. But we sold all of them out. I should do that sometime. Maybe just actually make our own pressing of like 1 kilo chonkers. 357 leaves. What's going on? Did you see the Reddit post on our pu'er today that we're all talking about? Sir Lord X, thanks for joining us. $357 Leaves might have insight. He might be able to know how many. Oh gosh, this tea's so good right now. Beneath an Emerald Sea, guys. It's what do we sell this tea for? 55 bucks, 60 bucks. This is a slightly pricier blend. Green tea and good vibes. Did you get one of those? Green tea and good vibes says the Mega Chonk Brick Squad. If you guys bought one of those Huangpian Mega Bricks, let me know. This tea's just perfect tonight. This is like the best choice I could have made for a Friday evening tea. This will get me energized. I've got work to do after this. But at small break right now. The kids are at art class, Friday night art class. That's what they do. So I had a little bit of a free time, a little bit of a window. Canavox, getting into the fucha changed your perception of quantity for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, just even getting into the tea business changed my perception of quantity. And I still remember the very first cake of pu'er tea I bought on my own. It was a 357 gram cake. It was $70, and I just thought that was just wild. It would have been 2013, and so the vendor broke it in half for me and sold it for like 40 or something like that. So and then of course obviously going to China and like buying our first like mao cha, we only bought 3 kilos because I thought that was just way too much. But now it's like clearly buy a lot more of them. He tells Black you've been drinking Dark Depths the evening after dinner. Dude, Dark Depths after dinner tea is nice. Green tea and good vibes, you did not. You have a couple of smaller show bricks you need to drink through. Yeah, buying a kilo of tea, it's a big investment, especially for individual use. But I mean, if it's good tea, you can go through that in short order. Jay Scott says you had a mega brick. You can't remember if it lasted 2 or 3 years, but definitely a solid 2 years. That's good. I like that. I love that. I love that you've got that you can have a consistent thing that can last for multiple years. And it's just a baller move anyways, right? It's just like your friends come over and it's like, hey, you want tea? They think you're gonna bring out some dainty little tea bags and you're just like, clonk, and you just drop down like something the size of like a shoebox. Tea with you, Amy. Thank you for joining us. What are you drinking tonight? Yeah, it's just it's a lot of tea. It's a baller move for sure. It's a pro move. Yeah, there we go. That's what we'll do. Press a 1 kilo brick of some budget show and just call it like ballers only. Call the tea pro move. That would be funny. Oh, too many tea inside jokes. Sometimes I need to make like actual serious products. But it's funny because then sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you guys like the like the sillier meme-ish teas more than you do like like take for example like the Pure Nano cake, right? Pure Nano, simple design, simple name, pure like single origin tea. Beneath an Emerald Sea will sell more than that because there's just something evocative about the art in the name. And even though Pure Nano is arguably the better tea side by side, people just want, to have a little inspiration with their tea. Yeah, green tea and good vibes. Something could be considered, a deadly weapon. Probably stop a bullet. Maybe not a big bullet. Actually, it probably wouldn't stop many bullets, but I'd rather be behind a brick of tea than in front of it if I'm getting shot at. Green tea, good vibes. Want big melon-shaped pressing. Press a Lotus cake. The melons are fun. The big melons. I like big melons of tea. The melon shape is fun. Let's go. It's only 8 p.m. Pull out some sheng or not? Should we vote? Let's go wants to know. It's 8 p.m. To sheng or not to sheng? I mean, your username is literally let's go. I mean, I think the answer is right in there. And I think every person in here is going to tell you to sheng it. Sheng it. Sandalia. Athalia H. Kitty. Thank you guys for joining. Let me know what you guys are drinking tonight. Canavox says, you're only a few years into Eastern brewing. You look at your 5 pounds or so of cakes and you feel like a proud tea dad. You should. You absolutely should. That's, yeah, absolutely, man. You got your little collection. You got your little collection going. CM says do it. Who else says do it? So you're like 1 hour past our time zone. Yeah, it's like 7:15 here. The kids aren't going to be back for a while. I had a little bit of a free time. I have been recently tasked with the joys of trying to figure out the complexities of EU tea shipments. The EU is not real happy with our packages lately, and I'm not 100% certain why. So we've been just got an email from somebody in Italy who had some really good ideas on what we were doing wrong. Green Tea Good Vibes says do it, and then put Palpatine there. So do it from the Palpatine meme. Yeah, I think that's it. I think you need to do it. But let's go. Let me know what you actually which sheng you choose. Since we know that you will be drinking it, let me know which sheng you actually are choosing. Really nice, lovely little session. I'm glad we picked this tea tonight. So many choices. You know, with my more than 5 pounds of tea cakes in my collection, sometimes it's a little bit of a choice overload. And then there's the idea that's like sometimes there's teas that I want to try and drink, but they're not teas that I can sell anymore. And so then some people get a little annoyed if I'm like drinking and focusing on a tea that I can't actually that they can't actually purchase. So, but you can definitely purchase this, and we have a decent amount of this cake ready to go. I've been ignoring my tea pets, guys. Don't let me do that. There we go. And a little bit for the peanuts back here. You guys got any fun weekend plans? Kids are starting up basketball. They're going to be doing basketball on the weekends. Gonna have a family birthday party for my daughter, who's now 8. It's exciting. Let's go. Top of the clouds. Nice to see the tea. Party Friday. That's it. Ito's Black is camping at Haleakala on Maui. Well, that's really awesome. Are you? Did you bring tea with you? So you're live streaming us on tea while you're out camping. I think that's awesome. I hope you brought like an adequate tea setup with you so you can camp and tea, because that's just a ton of fun. Party Friday. You're gonna try and oh, you are hiking. Yeah, you are camping, but you're not there yet. Yeah, you should pack a little gong fu setup. It doesn't have to be much. Just a simple gaiwan. You don't even need a gong dao bei technically. You can just like pour right into the cups. I mean, if you're camping, you don't even really need a tea table. Just like set up a rock, pour on the rock. Gaiwan in some cups. That's it. I mean, I've got fancy filters. I've got all the fancy teaware and stuff, but it's not needed. There's a guy who was posting his first tea session ever. His first Gong Fu tea session was with Beneath an Emerald Sea. They were posting it on Instagram. I forget the username, but they said that I mean, they were just using like a glass measuring cup as their gong dao bei, just like being super simple, like just taking what they have around them and making it work. And that's the idea. Alex D. Rockhound, are you drinking any tea today? Thank you for joining us on the Instagram. Canavox is going to be drinking tea and reading sci-fi. What sci-fi are you reading? I want to know because what did I start reading the other day? And then I was just like, I love that my Kindle can actually fit in my cargo pants pocket. I can't remember the name of it. It was Isaac Asimov. What am I reading right now? Oh, right now I found that I get a lot of benefit from downloading sci-fi magazines from the library, checking them out. Maybe it's like 4 or 5 like short stories by authors I really like, and it helps me to learn new authors. So Clark's World Sci-Fi magazine, but what was it? Asimov's The Gods Themselves. I had been I was reading that, and it's a very interesting concept. I really liked it. I like Asimov a lot. I mean, Asimov is one of the most prolific sci-fi authors ever. He's just done everything. And I really liked the concept of the gods themselves. So there's this idea that here we go. Take a look at this. Take a look at this gorgeous tea. So the gods themselves, the idea is that a scientist basically figures out that there's some element that he's got like some titanium or something, and the titanium changes into an element that can't exist on Earth, and they start studying it and realizing that there's like a parallel universe that can change certain elements that are in our world to a different element, and there's like a converse reaction that we can change elements on their side. And so it turns out that this circular reaction between 2 parallel universes can create an energy positive on both sides, which is really cool idea. The problem is that it is dramatically like draining our sun, and we only have just realized that. And I really liked it. I loved it. And then like the first quarter of the book was all explaining the science on the Earth side, and then the next quarter of the book jumped over to the parallel world and explained how their world worked, and I just found it to be like the most boring setup ever. Like all the Earthside stuff I thought was great, but then like he just spent like chapter after chapter after chapter of explaining the most minute the most minute details of how this other parallel universe worked, and I just completely checked out. So I didn't stop drinking it. I was just Brandon Sanderson, Alex. Who does what has he written? That sounds familiar. I can't remember. Grandpa Style. Oh, I'm missing the chat over there. CM bought a mini fridge, used as a Pumador last month. That's awesome. Got any tips on how to push it to its full potential? You've been using the open bowl method for humidity. You've got to be careful with the open bowl method. I think the open bowl method is a little riskier than getting the humidity up with humidity packs. But once you get the humidity up, it's more or less self-regulating. But be a little bit careful with the open bowl method. Brandy said he wrote every book ever, pretty much. Well, we know that's not true, Alex. You just finished up Overland Part 2 by Tad Williams. You can tell a fantasy author wrote it, but you dig it. Nice. Stormlight Archive, Mistborn Star. Man, that sounds familiar, but I'm not sure if I've read much of his. Lazy Little Radis with the join. What is going on? Lazy Little Radis says that open bowl Pumadors are for sexy heathens. Lazy Little Radis, if you guys don't know, has quite a way with words, and runs the most successful T meme Instagram account. It's just T_memery? Is that the Instagram? Is that the Instagram meme account? Check it out. It's always hilarious. Always good stuff. Alex says it's crazy how many books Brandon Sanderson writes. Yeah, there's a lot of really prolific authors, but I don't know if anyone has actually beaten Isaac Asimov as far as prolific books. Isaac Asimov has written with authority on every single section of the Dewey Decimal System, which is a wild accomplishment. I mean, I think by the end of his life, he was releasing like 200 books a year or something. It's just astounding. T_memery on Instagram. If you guys want to have a good time, subscribe to the most popular T meme account on Instagram, full of all sorts of hilarity. Green Tea and Good Vibes says you have a Step Nomad book that's like that with minute details. You can tell a history professor wrote it. Too much detail. Sometimes I really like a lot of detail. I found the parallel world that Asimov envisioned just to be just a ridiculously boring world. I just did not care at all for any of the people that lived there, and so I was just like, whatever, I'm done. Lazy Little Radis, Asimov is the GOAT. Yeah, Asimov is he just wrote so much, and I like a lot of what he wrote, and I was really hoping to like this one, but I just didn't. Yeah, Asimov wrote just tons of books. Absolutely not says, let's see, I'm sorry. Canavox says, highly suggests Snow Queen and Summer Queen by Joan D. Vinge. Think Dune on an island planet. I can check that out. Absolutely not. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Yeah, that's Philip K. Dick is also just wildly prolific and just wrote just really compelling stuff. Sounds like I would prefer soft science over the more rigid hard sci-fi. Hitchhiker's Guide. Yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide's great. It depends. I mean, like the Asimov book I was reading. I really appreciated the hard sci-fi, and I can totally get into some of the more. I guess. Well, I really liked. I mean, maybe it's like borderline hard sci-fi. Like Artemis by Weir gets definitely more into the harder sci-fi, but not. I guess I don't know. As long as it's not too hard sci-fi, but it wasn't. Yeah, the thing about the gods themselves, it's just I just didn't like that parallel universe. It was I don't know. It just didn't. 43K, Anathema by Neil Stephenson is your favorite sci-fi book. That's your favorite sci-fi book. Interesting. I've got it on my Kindle list, but I've not read it. I have a really strong love-hate relationship with Neil Stephenson. I love his books, but I just think he's just way too wordy. I think a lot of times he would make really amazing short stories, but then he just adds 10,000 pages to the book, and then insults you by this is book 1 of 800. I think you can only be reading that for forever. Lazy Loretta says Hyperion Saga by Dan Simmons. Hyperion is great. Santiago by Mike Resnick. I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that out. 43K. I love Snow Crash. I loved Snow Crash, and actually, Cryptonomicon is probably my favorite of his. I tried to get into some of the other ones, and it was just God, it's just so dense. Santiago's your favorite sci-fi book of all time, and Alex says, "Do androids dream of electric sheep?" Yep, also a solid recommendation. Robert Silverberg's Downward to the Earth is shockingly good. Anything Silverberg, awesome. This is great, guys. I will check some more of these out. I am chapters away from finally making it through all of the original Dune books, so I'm excited about that. But I kind of got a little out of it, and so I'll finish it. I'll finish it eventually. What else was it I was going to look at the other day that I was checking out? I mean, sometimes I get into real-ish sci-fi as well. What was that name of that? It was spacing out. I did. What else did I grab the other day that then I was just just thoroughly unimpressed with, but it was super highly recommended. I want to check out, I like conspiracy theory, UFO-ish stuff, all sorts of things like that. Imminent by Luis Elizondo. I definitely wanted to check that out. Kind of a real-world UFO, government conspiracy, Pentagon hiding, blah, 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 all sorts of stuff like that. Get a kick out of that. But what was it I read the other day? I think I actually probably... No, there it is. What was that? Yeah, the Where tetralogy by what's his face. That came fairly highly recommended, and by Rudy Rucker. And I don't know. It just felt old. And it's just the way they were describing it. First 4 or 5 chapters into it, and I was just I'm not really ready for this whole thing yet. So, Lazy, if you PM me links to your guys' favorite sci-fi stuff, in Instagram or someplace where I can kind of easily track it and source it. 43 Cray, you haven't done Snow Crash yet. Good to know. It's worth picking up. No, Snow Crash is great, but it's again one of those ones where if you took the first 10 chapters and the last 10 chapters and discarded everything in the middle, it would make a really incredible short story. But the middle is so verbose. At sometimes I get it, and you find yourself kind of skipping through whole paragraphs because you just try so hard to drive home the point. You're like, I get it, I got it, I get it. Like, I'm not dumb. Like, I know what you're trying to say. You don't have to like take like 10 chapters to describe like the same concept. Like, I got it. So the middle of Snow Crash is dense, very dense. Oh, Brandon Sanderson finished the Wheel of Time. Oh, okay, got it. That makes sense. Have you read any short stories by John Varley? Also tons of fun. I don't know that I have, but I'll check that out. I did really enjoy reading. I know it's really super popular now, but it was probably like 10 years ago I read the Three-Body Problem once it had been translated into English, and I just thought it was really amazing to have like an awesome like sci-fi or Chinese sci-fi, or sci-fi with like a Chinese perspective, which you don't find much of. I loved it. Three-Body Problem was great. Etal's Black, your girlfriend just rolled your eyes at you because she loves Snow Crash. I love Snow Crash too. I absolutely do. In fact, I think it's somewhat amazing that modern warfare guys right now look a lot like the way Stevenson described gargoyles in Snow Crash, right? So gargoyles in Snow Crash are these guys that have like really high-end like data links, and they've got these backpacks with computers, and they sit up on buildings and like watch and film like protests and things happening. So they've got like super high camera rigs, and they've got antennas. They look like gargoyles, kind of like lurched on that. There was a picture from like the Ukraine-Russia war of a drone operator sitting on a building looking just like a gargoyle with a backpack like full of like big antennas, doing all the jamming with like a cyberpunk like mask on, which is like his drone thing. And it immediately reminded me of the way Stevenson described gargoyles. No, I love Snow Crash. I just wish it wasn't so verbose in the middle. Yeah, that's all. No, I mean, Snow Crash was like the way he described like his car, and the way he was like an urban samurai, and the whole concept of the idea that humans can actually be programmed, that we actually are susceptible to attacks by words. Totally made sense that we could be just programmed depending on what you were told. I just thought it was awesome. Canavok says Ice by Anna Cavan, if you want to dig a trip through 60s literary sci-fi. Sometimes I do. Like I'm a big fan of Ursula K. Le Guin. She did some really cool stuff. I think my problem with the Ware tetralogy is it just used too many 70s specific cool words that like reading it didn't like automatically, instead of taking me to a place in the future that he was envisioning, it automatically took me back to the 70s, and it just really frustrated me. Whereas like the idea of Neuromancer, like he just made up all of his own words, and the idea that like that book was like Neuromancer was written in like 1984, it feels like it was written right now because he created something that was timeless, didn't use any. It's similar to the way like Lucas does things. Lucas doesn't like to use when he was doing all the Star Wars stuff, didn't like to use common phrases, didn't want to use common memes, didn't want to use common clothing type items, and it totally shows. It's created something outside of our world, and I think that's kind of hard to do. Excuse me. Canavok says Kornbluth may be the best in sci-fi short stories. I'll check that out. He's kind of hard to find in print, but Kindle's got some. Yeah, I do. Most of my stuff is stuff that I've gathered online, or I check out from the library and digitally go to my Kindle. My Kindle, which is 10 years old now, it's still chugging right along. Lazy Literatus, Rudy Rucker is like he literally tried hard to be Gibson. He really did try hard to be Gibson. I totally can see that. And you know, maybe I'll eventually find a way to kind of like slide through it, because then his later books are supposed to be a little bit more modernish or something. And Gibson made such the nicest like intro about the Ware tetralogy that I was totally into it, but it just got me. The other one I really like right now is I've been trying to get into some more of his stuff, but his stuff is definitely more dense and takes a little bit more concentration reading it. But I'll probably butcher his name. Hanu Rajanimi. Have you guys read any of his stuff? what did he write? What was that book? Spacing on it. Had to do with not crypto. What was it called? The something thief, quantum thief. Had to do with quantum cryptography, stuff like that. Super cool. Absolutely not. Your Kindle is old too. Consider upgrading the new color one, but the pixel density is abysmal. I had the same idea, like as well, because I'm like, ooh man, that color one looks cool. And yeah, my Kindle is easily 10 years old now. I mean, they'll give you, if you turn in an old Kindle, they'll give you 20% off. And then I can turn mine in for $5. So I realized that like, well, at the, $260 that it is, I'm like, shoot, they give me like $60 off. But I'm like, this tech still works. And then I'm like, and I don't think it has the resolution to make like comic books actually look good, because that's one thing that I would do for it. The screen is just right for me to read on, but like it's not right for me to read comic books on, which is one of the only things that I would actually use it for. I think I do like that it's waterproof, but I don't really take the Kindle into the shower or the bath, but I don't know. 43K's gotta go. Hope you enjoy your tea and weekend. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your weekend as well. Drink some tea, have some fun. Alex D. Rockon, do you ever do audiobooks? It depends. I've done a lot of audiobooks. I like audiobooks a lot, but I've been trying to force myself to read more. Just force myself to take the time and the effort to do the act of reading, which I absolutely love. It's just I just don't seem to have the time to do that anymore. But I've been forcing myself to take the time to do that, and so I've been trying to find some more fun stuff to read on Le Kindle. Oh, this tea's perfect. But yeah, no, my friend works on the new Kindle team. She's been working on it for the past year, and so she like a month ago she let me kind of get a sneak peek on some of their products and things. I'm like, ooh, geez, these are looking nice. But the big one, as much as fun as it would be, like I just really like the form factor of the super small one. It's just like I said, it's exactly the right size for my cargo pants pocket. That's me. That's all I wear. I'm a cargo pants kind of guy. I don't know if that'll ever change. It's just perfect. And so I literally always have it with me. And so it's nice to pull it out and just read like a couple pages here and there when I can. Alex has a hard time reading books because you can't put them down. You'll read for 20 hours straight. Have kids. And then that'll all change. I used to be that way, and I'm trying to get that way again, but I'm very, I'm at this point in time in my life, I'm very, very, very easily distracted, and so it's very difficult for me to do that. Zenomo, thanks you for joining us. Fire and Ice, wait, what are you saying? Oh, not sci-fi, but Song of Ice and Fire, grim dark fantasy, Glenn Cook's Black Company, deserving of so many trigger warnings. I felt like I was reading Blood Meridian again, but 9 times. Did I read Black Company? What was it? I was reading. What was I reading? Where was that at? Strange Company. Sorry, no, that was different. Yeah, no. Trigger warnings are fine. I'm not really bothered by stuff like that. I adored Blood Meridian. I've read Blood Meridian multiple times. Blood Meridian is fantastic. A guy that I worked with when I was working at Real Networks back in the day wrote the definitive guide to Blood Meridian, and he just put insane amounts of research into literally like every page and paragraph of Blood Meridian. Blood Meridian is such a good book. Such a good book. Barnacle Ed and Jacqueline Ramirez, thank you for joining us. Alex says, sure would be a shame if somebody texted you some memes while you were busy. Yeah, that's also part of the problem. I have way too many awesome friends that text me hilarious memes to distract me with throughout the day. Oh, it's Catabox, Song of Ice and Fire. It's Ice and Fire, I think, right? Song of Ice and Fire. Michelle Jackson was thinking about reading The Three Body Problem. You should. The Three Body Problem is awesome. It's also a little bit wordy, and it takes a while to really kind of understand what's going on. In fact, it's like 95% of the book you're like, okay, and then the last 5% you're just like, holy Scooby snacks. It just really just trips you out. Like the last 5% of that book is just wild. It's amazing. Like that book, like you don't see a lot of real science fiction coming out of China. You know, like, I mean, China is a country that has like 5,000 years of history. And so most of what gets written is it's kind of looking backish. They've got so much history to write on that you find like, you know, like thousands and thousands of like period dramas set in, you know, like China's history. And they're very kind of like looking back. You don't see a lot of Chinese sci-fi. You don't see a lot of Chinese fiction that's like forward looking, whereas like America is like an incredibly young country, and it's like we don't have as much of the depth of history to pull on for you know, popular entertainment. So we're looking forward, you know, like we're looking to space and all other planets, and so you find amazing sci-fi in the US, but to find like a piece of science fiction written that does such in Chinese, that does such a good job of weaving current Chinese communist political situations into a science fiction story. Three Body Problem was just really incredible. I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed it. Canavox says the judge, man, the judge gonna come. Yeah, dude, the judge Cormac was, yeah, no, Cormac's mad. That's the judge. What a fascinating character. And I've now started to see like echoes of that judge character making it into a bunch of other Western works. The judge was a trip, man. CM thinks Western perspective is notable in the Three Body Problem. This is one of the reasons I loved it. Change of pace for me. Yeah, it was definitely a change of pace. I really liked the Three Body Problem, and I've gone through all of the different TV show iterations, the Chinese one and the Western one. It's really interesting to see how each has kind of taken it and written that story, because the story's dense, and there's a lot going on. The Chinese version, if you can watch the Chinese version is really long. It's like 30 hours long, but the Chinese one almost literally follows like the story, like page for page for page for page, and it doesn't really work very well because it's just too much going on, and they really needed to slice it up and repackage it. And the Netflix version actually does a really decent job of kind of getting to the meat of it and repackaging it in a very pleasant way. Alex says there's a ton of crazy Chinese web novels, but most are like cultivation novels that get a bit repetitive. Yeah, I can totally see that. If you guys are just joining on Instagram or on YouTube, let me know what you guys are. Let me know what you guys are drinking tonight. Yeah, Canavox, The Dark Tower by Stephen King is technically sci-fi, and I do like sci-fi Western crossover mixes and stuff. So I don't think I read Dark Tower, the book, but I had all the graphic novels. I know that doesn't count, but I'm a huge graphic novel fan, and I really enjoyed reading the graphic novels of Dark Tower. But it's been so long, I don't remember. I don't remember much about it. Favorite sci-fi Western crossovers? Clearly Firefly, of course. Of course. I like the idea that most of like the guns in Firefly are all basically just like Western guns, just kind of like reimagined or remodified or something. I get a kick out of that. Whew. This tea was perfect for a Friday night. What do I got? I got probably, I'm trying to calculate when the kids are coming back, because as soon as the kids come back, the house turns into madness, and it's totally fine. It's not a problem. I love my kids, but it's just not as peaceful of a tea experience once they get back. But it'll be fun to see what art they made in their art class. Indian sheng, lazy literacy. Is that what you said? Is it Assam based? Is it large leaf varietal? Process as strong. Alex had Arizona green tea and a candidate. Good job, bud. The Dead Tongues. Thanks for joining us. I love Santiago. Awesome. Thanks for the link. I do appreciate that. Lazy Literati said that. Alex says, you love in sci-fi movies how butchered the prop guns are. Halo video game series is such a good story. Yeah, the well, I get a kick out of seeing how creative they can get in sci-fi as far as like guns go. Like the whole reason why Star Wars just has a bunch of like World War II guns in it with a couple things glued on it. It's because all the prop shops in the UK, like that's all they had. You know, it was like the mid 70s, and most of the 60s and 70s were filming a bunch of World War II period drama movies, and so they go to like the prop shops and like, hey, we need some space guns. Well, we don't have space guns, but we got a bunch of German guns. Do you want to just like bolt some random things on? And so like all the guns in Star Wars are just like, oh, we'll just take this and clump, 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 clump. So it's kind of fun. I like that. I like that creativity. Rita Fong, Spaghettilino, thank you guys for the joining. What are you guys drinking? Canna Fox, the Gunslinger graphic novels were basically just book 4, the best book of Dark Tower. Yeah, I'll have to check out the Dark Tower stuff again. It's just been a while. It's probably like 10 years since I looked into the Dark Tower stuff. Dude, this tea, man, it's starting to work its magic on me. Super relaxed right now. It's very nice, very nice tea. Let me check real quick, see how long I got for the kids get back. I can't remember. We keep dropping in sci-fi recommendations for me. Totally down with that. Oh, yep, there we go. Kids are 5 minutes out, so probably do one nice big long last steep of this. This will be awesome, and then I'll probably hang up my tea streaming hat. So, but I really appreciate everybody tuning in. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got the YouTube stuff sorted, Instagram stuff. It's like a match made in heaven. Alex says tomorrow you're gonna bake some donuts and drink some cloudy days. Dude, that sounds great. That sounds awesome. I need to do more like partnerships with like local donut shops. I think that would be great. I think like a nice thick show and a fresh donut would be awesome. Awesome combo. Canavox is throwing in Spaceballs for best sci-fi film. Who agrees? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Spaceballs. I love some Spaceballs. I don't know if I would say best sci-fi film, but Spaceballs is hilarious. That is good stuff. Yeah, absolutely not. You'll never unsee Han Solo holding a modified Mauser C96. So, yeah, if you guys don't know, like basically, like Han Solo's gun was a German-designed pistol that they just stuck some farkle on, some like fancy little bits, and put a little scope on there. It looks so good though. Like it has become iconically like Han Solo's gun, but it is very easy to see that it's 100% based on a German pistol. But it's a German pistol that they created in 1896, and that is just wild to me. And I own one. A vintage one. It's not a collector's item by any means. It's what would be called a parts gun, which is where like they had just boxes and boxes and boxes of random scrap parts of Mausers, and they just slapped them all together and like, hey, here we go, we'll sell this on like some website or something. And then I bought it and got it for a good deal, like 15 years ago now. It's maybe like $400. It really has no collector's value. But I got really interested in it because it has like 8 different serial numbers on it, because the Germans meticulously serialized like every single part of the firearm. So this is a parts gun. It's got tons of different parts in it. But because the Germans were so meticulous about their tracking and their paperwork, you can still go back now and figure out exactly like where the different serial numbers came from. And I realized that the parts to this gun that I own, different parts of that gun were can be traced back to every single major conflict in Europe in like a 40-year window. Parts of that gun were in World War I. Parts of that gun were in World War II. Like the Bolshevik Revolution. Like it's just I find it kind of fascinating. This gun is just like a 40 years gun, but there's no screws. The entire thing. If you're interested and fascinated with like mechanical things that move and work, the Mauser C96, like there's no screws. Like there's one screw, and the one screw just holds the wooden grips on. The rest of it is like the whole thing just kind of like disassembles, like I don't know, like origami or something. It's absolutely incredible from a manufacturing perspective. And the fact that it was done like 130 years ago is just wild. I'm sorry if you guys don't like talking about guns. I won't do that. But it's I just get a little passionate about some things sometimes. Anyways, cool piece of history. They have gotten pricey, even like the garbagey ones, like I got. It still technically works, but it's just not. It's not really has no collector's value in its own. But just amazing. If you're also looking at really interesting, I forget exactly which one it was, but it's a Bergman, the one that the gun that was that Mando uses in the Mandalorian series is also based on a gun from like 1905 or something like that. It's a gun that no one had ever seen, but I did actually get to see one at the Firearms History Museum in Cody, Wyoming. They actually had an example of it. And the gun itself, like from like 1905 or whatever, it totally looks like it's a gigantic space gun. In fact, they didn't even have to modify it for the Mandalorian. He just literally carries a 120-year-old gun. It's kind of hilarious to think about that. Yeah, Alex, no fasteners. No fasteners. There's one. The firing pin just twists out, and then the entire gun just like disassembles with one little notch. It's held together like that. Look it up. Look up a disassembly video or something. It's just wild. Anyways, guys, I think I can hear the kids. I think I can hear the kids coming. This was great. I really appreciate the joining me for a Friday night tea tasting. Pretty awesome. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I will I'll see you around. Have a good one.